Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Chase. It's time for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part one review. Um, Jada was supposed to join us today. I don't know if she's going to be able to come in, but if so, we'll go ahead and bring her in as the lounge opens. I want to thank you guys for watching last night as we pivoted and talked about all things Nene and just really all things that was tea that was going on. We went ahead and addressed that, and so I want to thank you guys for. Um, there we go. Thank you guys for doing your bit one and supporting us. If Jada comes in, we'll go ahead and bring her up. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part one. And make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bells. And let's get into it. I hope you guys are having a good day today. Y'all at work? So am I. Why do we have to work? Why we just can't have money? Why? Anyway, thankfully we love what we do here. And so, that kind of balances things out. All right, so the reunion starts. The girls sit down, and Andy asks Meredith what her goal is for the reunion. Meredith says that she needs to clear some things up with Whitney about BravoCon. Whitney drank a lot at BravoCon. She tried to apologize and said that she wants to be Meredith's friend. Instead, Meredith said that she retracted everything and that she said about, I don't know what. Meredith said that she retracted everything. So it was a big mess about what was actually said at BravoCon, and Whitney apparently was three sheets to the wind, falling down drunk, um, and not really able to control her liquor down to the BravoCon. Meredith says, "No, you said why can't we leave camera on camera and be cool off camera?" And Meredith says she just could not do that. She can't be fake, and whatever it is on camera is up and it's stuck. I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting. I think that's an interesting tale and insight into um, what I felt, and that is that certain people on the show do things solely for the show. And if they didn't act desperately and irrationally and just choreographing their moves and their stunts, um, they wouldn't know what to do because then they would have to exist authentically in an environment. And if you have to create these situations amongst the group and the group doesn't just organically and authentically have these situations, then that's a problem and the group needs to be re-examined. Because as I said last night about a certain housewife, I don't like housewives that are desperate. There's a lot of things that you can be, but I draw the line at desperate, willing to do anything, willing to sell anything, willing to do anything to anyone, willing to sell anything to anyone to get where you need to be, which is another season. I think that is just like when I think of a real housewife, I don't think of desperation because you have the wealth, you have the lifestyle that you don't need to be desperate. You shouldn't be doing this should not be your job if you're a real housewife. It should be a job, but it shouldn't be your job. And so yeah, not really feeling it. Meredith says Whitney said she shouldn't have lied about Meredith, and Whitney said that she will clean it up and shouldn't have done it. Meredith says that Whitney was fall down drunk and had to be carried out by Justin. Whitney says she's a fun loving drunk and tried to be nice to her, but won't be doing that ever again. She says that she supported Meredith against Lisa when Lisa said horrible things about her. And Meredith says, "You've all said horrible things about me." Lisa says Whitney called them whores and liars. And meanwhile, Mary is coaching Whitney to keep calm and say what she means. Whitney asks Meredith if she's going to apologize for lying on her, and Meredith denies lying. Andy says, well, Whitney was so drunk she couldn't make it across the stage. Let me just stop here. I think it's really rich. Really rich. It's Richie Rich. That all season for the second half, Whitney has yelled that there may be a problem with Meredith's drinking, called her a drunk and all of those things. Yeah, you were the one drunk at BravoCon. When being drunk really isn't an issue, most especially um, when you're on vacation, you're on holiday, you're having fun. There would be no issue with me for Whitney to be drunk, but Whitney attacked and dogged Meredith for a second half of a season over allegedly being drunk and not remembering. And here we have Whitney sitting here at the reunion, but not remembering because she was allegedly drunk at BravoCon. Where they do that at? Salt Lake City is where they do that at. Meredith says Whitney was so drunk she can't remember. Whitney screams, I do remember. And Meredith says Whitney gets blackout and needs to stop. And Whitney says Meredith needs to own her ish. Meredith says she will own what she's done, but she won't own things that the ladies make up. Whitney says, You're playing semantics again. You're playing semantics again. Are you drunk right now, Whitney? Because that's not playing semantics. Me telling you I will own my behavior and I won't own what you ladies project and make up about me, that's not semantics. That's taking appropriate accountability for what I've done. Now, what Meredith needs to do is say, I don't remember that, and I apologize for doing that, but I don't remember that, and I don't remember it that way. However, I respect you as my friend. I'm sure you're not going to lie on me and make up things to gaslight me for whatever personal gain that you have. So I'm willing to apologize for that. She's not willing to apologize in that way. That's not playing semantics though. That's kind of not being a good friend, if you ask me. If I tell my friend, oh, your behavior last night was team too much and you were doing your big one, I'm not really even looking for an apology unless it necessarily affected me to the point that I need an apology or I would like an apology. But if someone was to tell me everybody's had nights they don't remember and people run back to the store and you be like, oh my God, I did it. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, are we good? And that's all Meredith had to do. But she won't do that, which is another conversation in itself. But that's not playing semantics in that particular moment. Meredith does play semantics, if you ask me, but in that moment, that wasn't an example of playing semantics. The only person playing right now is Whitney, who's playing the fool. Catch. Lisa's video package airs, and Heather still considers Lisa a risky friend. She says Lisa plays with really high stakes, and she's going to fight to the death. And I don't know if I said it on YouTube. Fight till there's no more fighting left to be had, and it's her way or the highway. Lisa says she thinks Heather can be snaky. Heather starts over talking Lisa, and Lisa starts saying, and Lisa says, kissing and farting was snaky because Heather encouraged Angie to bring it out, which Bronwyn took as new information because it was. Heather says that she thought it was funny, which is evident because Heather continued to bring it up more than once throughout the trip until Bronwyn put her foot down and told her to stop bringing it up. We can always laugh at other people's situations, but we don't have anything to laugh at about Heather because Heather doesn't have any situation. So we just go ahead and take delight in laughing at her low self-esteem, take delight in her looking the plum fool everywhere she go, take delight in her being not a great friend either because she is snaky, she is manipulative, she is conniving, she is everything that she does that she accuses the other people of doing. She's just more covert about it. I take delight in laughing about that. And that's another thing. Her being covert and snaky, definitely about telling Angie to put out that tea about Bronwyn's husband kissing and farting. The way it was dropped was so weird and did not fit or match the moment that it was in. She just picked a fight. I'm so glad I observed that. She picked a fight with Lisa. I feel, if I can remember correctly, I feel like she picked a fight with Lisa. After she picked the fight, while she picked the fight with Lisa, it was picked with the sole purpose of dropping that on the trip. And now we know that Heather was the master, the manipulator, the puppet master, puppeteering Angie K and put a battery in Angie K's Greek back And Angie spilled that tea, which Angie gladly and willingly did because anything to come for Lisa. Because Angie likes being nasty. Lisa's not a victim, but Angie did it willingly and gleefully because she likes to be nasty. Yes, lunch break. Lunch break. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, love, love, love. Hey, to the people in the lounge watching. Lisa says Angie laughed at the airport and said Heather told me to do it. Angie denies that ever happening. As Angie and Heather ramble, Lisa gets over it and said her reaction to that was when you're ready to listen, and not tag team because you're codependent in your reactions and your responses, I'll continue, which was sickening that she put her foot down, but also was highly hypocritical because we have literally seen Meredith and Lisa tag team back again. Was it me? Was it in the bushes and the Hey, so glad that you caught a live innocent instigator. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. But to me, I'm like, wait a minute now, Lisa. Now you was eating a little bit with the shutting it down and letting people know that they're not going to talk over you, even though you continue to talk and you never stop. This isn't the Listen to Lisa Barlow show. People can respond, but yes, they are talking over you and adding and interjecting and tag teaming and piling. Yes, they're doing all of those things. But Lisa, you and Meredith do those things too. So for me, I don't know. Yeah, Heather should have been gone for that black eye stunt. She put a lot of things in jeopardy for that black eye stunt. She should have been gone for that. I do agree. Heather says, you don't think you tag team? Lisa says, I'm solo, babe. Meredith says they stand up for themselves. And Heather says, you don't think you ride for each other? Lisa says, she is not a rider. That is very Utah to say that. And Heather says, you're from Utah. You've been here for 25 years. Lisa says, she's New York thick and through. Mary agrees with Heather and says Lisa is risky when asked. Lisa wants coherent answers and full, complete sentences. She didn't say that, but I caught the shade and what give me clear examples. List it, name them. Name them. Because I love Mary Cosby, down, up and down, but we all know mother does not, mother fears cynic structure. Can we be honest? You know, I don't know when she did she graduate? Did she drop out? When did she become her grandfather, step grandfather's concubine? I don't know, you know. And I love Mary Down, but we got to be honest. We have to be honest. Normally, I would have clocked Lisa because I feel like that could have also been wrapped in a little microaggression. However, I'm gonna let that slide because I have always found Mary's relationship with Senate structure to be interesting, and the way she relates things back to be interesting. Tag team is just 5 versus 2. Well, yeah, it's a handicap match. It is a handicap match. But it would have been 6 versus 1 had Lisa not chosen Meredith's side because Lisa saw those things too. She just didn't abandon Meredith in the moment because Meredith literally had no one. And if it was not for Lisa Barlow tethering her star power and her name value to Meredith, one could say that Meredith probably, I don't know if she is coming back or not coming back, but there would have been a stronger case for Meredith to go because she had no friends in the group. However, Lisa put her foot down and made sure her dog, who she betrayed in the past, was still on this show and still had a friend and used her name power to do so. And I would venture to say that to me, when we get into the conversation in a little bit, I feel like that was the repayment from the season 2 moment. Y'all ain't getting rid of my good sis because you got to get rid of me and y'all ain't gonna be able to do it. Catch. They all display the same behaviors in different way. Facts. They are one in the same. Nasty. Meredith says she sees a little bit of delusion in She says you started off by saying, like you live a different life. And I thought that was rude. Like you were better than everyone else. Meredith jumps in and says she doesn't feel like Lisa meant it that way and that everyone tag teams. Lisa points out that that includes you too. So while you're over there booty licking, you need to tell the truth. Let's tell the truth because that includes you too. Lisa absolutely meant it that like that. She absolutely meant it as if I'm up here, you're down here. We don't meet. We don't have the same friends. We don't do the same things. This is me. This is you. A la Kelly versus Bethany, season 2, New York Housewives. She totally meant it that way. For anyone not take it that way, that's what she does. She lashes out and insults in that way when her back is against the wall. And she meant it that way. She doesn't live the same life as you guys live. She doesn't live the same lifestyle as you guys live. There's Lisa Barlow and there's everyone else. And we all should really be offended because she was saying it about everyone. Lisa was letting the girls know we're not equal. We're not the same. We can't relate. So for Meredith to jump in and say that, it was better that Meredith do what she did at the first half of the season and not say anything. I would appreciate if you don't say anything if you don't agree. Then to jump in and lie. Girl gone. Girl gone. Whitney says she thought Lisa missed the first event because she had a facelift. Mary jokes and says it wasn't a good doctor. Now see, now see. Mary will be a better and stronger housewife character. I love Mary Cosby. This has been the last couple of episodes, y'all. But she will be a better and stronger housewife if people don't hold back and say what they want to say to her. I don't care if you're joking or not. Don't pull it. Whitney knows good and god doggone well that lady didn't miss that first event for that facelift. She missed that first event because they live very different lives. Okay? Very different lives. And Lisa held out for more money. Clock it. Well, see, Osing, exactly. They're scared they will be called racist too. Don't be racist and you won't be called one. No need to be scared of something you're not. Boom. Huh? No need to be afraid of something you are not. If you're not racist, you won't be racist. You can have a disagreement. You can call a girl out. You can read a girl without being racist if you're not one. And that's the kicker. Yeah, I can't lie. They tiptoe around Mary for two reasons. She is black, and then she is a pastor. They're scared. Baby, you're a pastor, but you're on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Don't sing it, bring it. If you can dish it, you better be able to take it. That would be nothing for me. And if you're not racist, you don't have to worry about that. Black people didn't call people racist when certain black housewives on Beverly Hills got chomped up that were not Garcelle. So Sutton versus sleep study, sleep apnea. What is her name? Annabelle. Sutton versus Annabelle. You didn't see a lot of that discourse going around outside of those who felt like, oh, it's a white woman versus a black woman. This is racist because you guys say that Dorit versus Garcelle is racist when Dorit versus Garcelle and Lisa Rinna and sometimes Erica Jane and at a point in time Kyle Richards was laced with racism and microaggressions and innuendo. It's not because it's a white person versus a black person that makes it racist. It is the interaction between them and the things that they say and the things that they don't say, which does make the interactions racist. If you're not racist, you don't have nothing to be worried about. Catch. We're gonna cook. We're gonna cook on the lunch break so we can eat it. Amen. Lisa says instead of Whitney saying her friend's a baddie and a 10, she's done really cool things in her life. She says they don't believe it. Lisa says she doesn't do that to them. Bronwyn says, well, you talked about my husband behind his back at the beginning of the season, and I didn't say anything to you or whatever, but you do that or whatever. So Angie tells Lisa K to open a salon. They're going back and forth about the salon business. We don't really care. Her business is not salons. So because she does not own a slew of salons, that doesn't make her less than a businesswoman. They really were failing at coming at Lisa, and I hate to keep having to advocate for Lisa because I know everything that Lisa is. We see it, but they just did not. They missed the mark with Lisa. There was a couple of times they may have gotten her, but they missed the mark with Lisa. Lisa was sitting already. She was sitting on Aquafina, and them girls are sitting on Captain Crunch. She was sitting already. Uh, Bronwyn says that she talked about Lisa behind her back at the beginning of the season regarding all of those court cases because Lisa had her blocked at the time. Lisa says, I mean, she's still blocked. Bronwyn says she didn't look up any information and dig up anything on Lisa. It was already in the newspaper. Lisa says the goal was to come for her character, and Bronwyn says the same way you came for my character. You want to play with fire, you get burned. I'm trying to see if that's a what's good for the goose is good for the gander kind of moment. And the reason why I'm trying to see if that's a good for the goose, good for the gander kind of moment is because Bronwyn got on television and lied about that necklace, and Lisa sussed her out at the reunion and embarrassed her and exposed her for lying about that necklace last season. But Lisa's court cases have not been mentioned on camera. You brought them to the screen. So, like, she didn't self admit a lie. You brought up documents that were in the paper about her because you were mad that she embarrassed you. And so that's not the same thing. I'm sorry. It's just not the same thing. Yeah, my mama trying to sneak in. Mama, just drop it off. You ain't gotta do all that sneaking. I ain't wrong. You trying to sneak it in. Just drop it off. Okay. She was like, bro, you come in here and just drop the thing off and go on. But that's not the same thing. Like, it's not like Lisa volunteered a lie. You volunteered a lie. So I don't think that's tit for tat. That's retaliation because you got embarrassed. So I don't know if I agree with Bronwyn on that. It was great television. It was fun to watch. I loved it, but that's not necessarily true. Does that make sense? Brianna Monique. They keep coming for Lisa, but can't actually get her. She was so cool, calm, and collected, and they were oppressed. Like a panini, a baby. Speaking of lunch, oh, panini pressed, extra cheese. I don't know what you put in panini. I ain't never had no panini. Only panini I know is Panini Leaks coming back to Bravo. Get into it. We just did a video last night. Y'all go and tap in and watch that video. We did a Nene Leaks last night. We did Nene Leaks. We talked Candy and Todd. We talked Stormy still going to start a new Bell Collective Birmingham spinoff. We talked Ashley Darby. We did our Candace Dillard Bassett. We did our big one. Yeah. Lisa says the goal was to come for her character. Yes, it was. That was the goal. She came for your character because you exposed her for lying. So I don't know. I don't know. Heather says you owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you got so much. You got. She said you got hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, but you got so much money. But you owed all of those hundreds of thousands of dollars to people. Lisa says it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. And she also tells Bronwyn that her case is criminal and hers is civil, and thought that, since you've been through the legal system, you would understand it since you got so many cases. Uh, Yeah, sorry about that. Since you got so much money, but since you got so many cases, you don't seem to understand how the justice system works when you've been in and out the people courthouse and in and out the people jail. I don't know if she's been in jail, but you've been in and out the people courthouse down to the accusations. Now, Bronwyn and Lisa get into it again, and Bronwyn shares that Lisa was at BravoCon telling fans that Bronwyn's husband is farting and kissing. The footage shows that Lisa was telling people at BravoCon of all places that Todd was farting and kissing, and confirmed the rumor that she heard. Now she's also in comment sections talking about Todd, and Lisa denies it. Lisa, girl, you're lying. You're lying. How do we know you're lying? They rolled the beautiful bean footage. We may not have airplane footage, but we got footage of you at BravoCon talking to strangers, and anyone would listen who would listen about Todd kissing and farting. Girl, have you lost the plot? Those people got their money worth at BravoCon. We should have went. We almost had enough money to go too, but we'll go 2027. I know that the collective is going to get us there, and when they get us there, we're going to make the most out of what we got. Amen. Hallelujah. While you're at it, it's lunchtime. Go ahead and see that Cash App down there. See that Cash App right there? Boom shakalaka. Go ahead and get your girl some lunch, okay? Get the people some lunch, okay? Now don't make no mistakes now. That's funny. Um, Bronwyn says Lisa has broken the truth at every turn. Lisa says that's not true. I have not broken the truth. Even though BravoCon was after filming rap, way later after filming rap, and she's talking to fans about kissing and farting. Lisa says it's not my fault the gout dick sucker thing went viral. Bronwyn says she has stayed the F away from Lisa and she keeps talking ish. Bronwyn is correct. Lisa, you gotta own that. Own it. Dead wrong. What's crazy to me is the rumors. Hello, passing gas is normal now. Maybe he got nervous and it slipped out. How do, how do they know? Just giving Todd was stank. That's what it was giving. She says she hasn't broken the truce, and they show a clip of Lisa in the galley on the yacht with Bronwyn hugging her and saying, "Never again, never again, never again. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Never again." And you're still talking about this lady husband at BravoCon. Lisa, they got you good with that one. Lisa, you need to own that. You need to own that. Angie says calling Meredith a trampoline with eyes and Lisa having a facelift is not an insult. Angie K, you mean you nasty on the fact that you know your way around the word of the insult, and that's what it was. You wouldn't have said it if it wasn't meant to be anything other than what it was landed as and taken as an insult. Lisa is the MVP. She is in charge of the girls. Lisa was in charge of the girls. Angie asked Lisa um, if she told a friend if she told a friend that Angie's Botox looked good. And Lisa says her circle is small. And Angie says, you talk to everyone. And Lisa says, that's not true. And it's just not true. Lisa says she loves her face and has never shamed anyone for their looks. And Bronwyn says, just my husband. Lisa lost that little passage right there, y'all. I'm sorry. Lisa talk crap about everybody, y'all. Come on, let's not even fake the funk. Angie says she didn't take deals with Arby's to troll Lisa. And Lisa says she is happy everyone can piggyback off of her wins. Angie says Lisa got a brand deal with the deal that she's worked with for years. And she says, "Do you want to be Angie K?" Everyone says they knew Kerastas because of Angie. Lisa denies. Baby, I feel like Lisa probably already had a working knowledge of Kerastas Thermatique. But even if you were the one to introduce her to Kerastas Thermatique, she said it on camera, it went viral, and she got the deal. Get over it, Angie. You keep snoozing and you keep losing. That's why you're in the hair salon. And at Arby's eating roast beef sandwiches. You should have trademarked high body count hair. You should have gotten a deal with Kerastase Thermatique by putting out a video shampooing Britney's hair with Kerastase Thermatique and making that a deal and making that a moment. You didn't do that. You left things that were prime for you to capitalize on to other people because you say things because you say them and you're just being mean and you have no business sense behind them to recognize when something gets hot to move on it. And yes, maybe not Arby's, but definitely that tequila brand felt like a troll. Felt like trolling. Like this is the only tequila out. I am doing tequila. Like Lisa isn't the early girl with a tequila brand. Felt like you were trolling. Own it. Yes. Angie, Brianna says, Angie had all these cute one-liners, but she flopped. She didn't capitalize on the hype that she had. Boom. That's nobody's fault. That's your own fault. Ain't nobody told me nothing. I don't know what's going on. I've been doing posts. I've seen the engagement have been low on the posts that I've been doing. I don't know if you guys aren't getting notifications. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. Does YouTube shadow ban you? Are we shadow banned? Oh my God. Are people not getting what they need to get? And that's no chase of TV. YouTube release us from the shackles and the perils of the people not getting what they need. Okay. These last week and these last reviews have been on fire. Hey everybody, hey Sean, not getting it. Yeah. Amanda K said she wasn't getting it either. I don't know what's going on with that, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. I am notified. And so I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Vanessa. And that's what we all should be. Period. Last year I kept the YouTube and the social separate. This year I'm going to start integrating them together and make them all one. And so the YouTube, the socials, and the podcast will all exist in the same ecosphere. It's just going to take a little doing. It's going to take a little doing. Sometimes I forget. I'll be on to the next story, on to the next thing. Anyway, there's a 100 episodes montage with no Monica, but there was Jen Shaw. Why? What's with the Monica erasure? Like they don't want to. They don't want to bring Monica back so bad. They're going to erase her when Monica literally, single-handedly brought them out of that dreadful season 3. Y'all got to put some respect on the people's name. Boost the algorithm. I don't. Yes. Thank you. Yes, if you guys would go to the hard comment sections and boost it up, and I think now it's probably being done by that hype button where you go and you click hype and you give it so many hype points. I think that you need to do that as well. If you guys could comment on the hard comment sections and do the hypes, I think that'll help. Unless I'm gonna have to stop going live so much and pre-record the videos and just put them up, which will force people to comment on the comment section in order to get the algorithm up. I just enjoy doing lives, but it looks like we may have to change the way we do some things. Hey, listen, yeah, y'all let a blogger through. She got through the casting process like everyone else. If she, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to close that so loudly, but if she was a blogger and then she quit, she was formerly a blogger, I don't see anything wrong with it at this point. I don't. I mean, you got a blogger allegedly working inside the group. Someone's leaking this stuff. It's getting out. So, yeah. Ooh, I got so much for you to go. Okay, let's move forward. Monica should have been in that footage in that tribute. There would have been no Salt Lake City if Monica and Mary didn't come back season 4 and change the trajectory of that show again. Y'all got to stop playing. Anyway, Whitney says that she promised to Justin that she was going to keep it real. The only thing about your promise to Justin is nobody cares. Nobody wants to see it. We don't. If there's anybody who could benefit from a friend of the show edit, it would probably be Whitney because we're sick of it. We don't care. And I like Justin. I'm just not interested in their home life. Thank you. Heather was not innocent with Monica because Heather knew for a whole season and let it sit. And Heather has been name dropped as allegedly sending information to Reality Von Teese to get them to spill. So she actively contributed in it. If anything, I would have made sure the girl made it and so she'd keep my secret. But what she did was effectively get her removed so nobody would know that she was allegedly feeding things to bloggers as well. The same very thing that she accuses Lisa Barlow of doing. Yeah. 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 This is crazy. She allegedly left a recording device in Jen Shah's home. I'm no Jen Shah fan, but that is crazy. That is absolutely certifiably nuts. And that's why I say I understand at the end of the day why the decision was made. However, you don't get rid of your Kenya Moore season 5, season 6. You don't do that. And so y'all would have had to figure something out. I don't know. I don't know what the fix is, but they haven't found any. I don't know what the fix is. It is weird though. It is weird. All right. Lisa talks about her being misunderstood and dotes on her family for 5 minutes, and I was over it too. I'm not even like that kind of a person, but like wrap it up already. We don't care. Uh, Heather says her life is unrecognizable as she has been able to afford a better lifestyle for her and her children. She put herself up by the bootstraps because Lord knows that she was deep in the orchestra pit of despair and in poverty when the show started season 1 and not allegedly divorced from an alleged billionaire as she had a successful business that was thriving. But Heather, Brittany comes out and says she's so happy to be here. And Andy says, I know you are. And oop, was that shade? Yes, it was shade. Oop, did Brittany catch? Yes, Brittany caught. And what she did, fled out her Oscar de la Renta dress a little bit more and sat down and nuzzled and got cozy in that seat and said, I don't care because I'm here. Huh. That's how you own it. Yes, I am desperate to be here. And I don't care. She has another teddy bear with another message from Jared. And listen, it's time to talk about their trip in Kanawha, and Whitney tried to put cucumber in Heather's bag, but it was too late and had to own it. Baby, that's not funny to me. Because at the end of the day, people really go around fucking cucumbers. Like, that's crazy. Chop them up, put them on a salad. Please don't chop them up and shove them up your vagina, okay? Not funny. It further goes to show that Whitney and Heather have jumped the shark, and we're tired of it. Heather says about Captain Jason, we effed around like we were friends. We were just effing around. Nothing happened though. There was no kissing, there was no sexual contact, and she didn't mean it the way that everyone took it. And if she did have sex with Captain Jason, she was screaming from the mountaintops and put on the sailor because she's Popeye the Sailor Man with that big old strong jaw of hers, and she's in the Navy now. You weirdo. You intimated to Brittany that you had them first. And so that was for you to give Brittany the warning to back off of my man because you had him first. And you're exactly the pick me person that people say they hate on social media. I dated him too. Next thing we'll know, Heather gonna be telling us she dated Roger Bob. You are a hater, and you're hating because you knew if he had to choose between Heather and Brittany, he would have chosen Brittany. So you threw salt on the game. You cop blocking. You lying on the D. You lying on your P. Come on, Heather. You can lose as much weight as you want to, Heather. But it's the soul that needs the surgery. You need help. You are disgusting. You sat up there and you intimated on that show and all throughout the press run about something that you and Captain Jason had going on. And you're still like hemming and hawing about it. It's the black eye all over again. But the only black eye this time is the black eye on your vagina because you lied on it. And so now we know that Captain Jason didn't touch you with a 49.5-foot pole. And now Brittany can't have no D because she's trying to respect you. And so now nobody gets the D. That's weird girl behavior. Real flop girl shit. If it happened and Jason got mad that she mentioned it, just move forward when people ask you about it and say, you know what? I just don't want to talk about it out of respect for the other person. You're sitting here, you're being an Ashley Darby about this. It's just weird girl behavior, real flop girl. There's ways around giving information. You don't have to give information. You don't have to nudge at it. You don't have to wink at it. You could just not say it. You could have pulled her off camera and said it to her, like, listen, you know, da 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 da. And even if he should boink you once, unless that's your man, he don't belong to you. Oh, that really angered me. Oh, lame, real lame girl shit. Like what? Bronwyn says not everything said about her online is true, and that she ran, even though Todd ran a background check, he was surprised to find out some of the things that he learned on the show and in the press because he doesn't understand the show and he doesn't understand why she continues to go around women who hate her guts when she doesn't need the money. Lisa actually understands that she is not dodging about talking about the sealed case, and she didn't ask for it to be sealed. And she has learned her lesson bringing up other people's business on the show, such as Todd and her daughter's Gwen and her daughter Gwen into the group. And so, for that very reason alone, she will not speak any further on someone else's case that she was in, but it is their case, and they've requested for it to be sealed. Real smart girl shit. That's all you had to say, Heather. You can like it, you cannot like it. It's not my business to tell. And you're going to have to respect that. I'll accept that. I may not like it, but I know it's the truth. I may think it's hypocritical, but it's the truth. She didn't offer up a lot this time. She learned her lesson from last season because she knows Lisa waited in the wings to embarrass her ass again. Listen, y'all, the people in the lounge saying Bronwyn is lying, and she's hiding a lot. I don't go digging. I don't do the dig. So y'all can have that. And if she lying, I'm sure it will all come out eventually, just like it came out about that necklace. But I respect that answer if it's true. Bronwyn says she's not a criminal and she wouldn't be able to get her citizenship. I don't have time to get into that. She denies allegations from 2018, and she also says other cases were 20 years ago when she was young and she was in college. She oversimplifies it. She does not go into great detail about it. I really don't care, and I'm going to move on. The people see Bronwyn. The people see Bronwyn. We know what we're dealing with. Brown wind is what we're dealing with. Speaking of brown wind, yesterday I was eating my Waffle House and there was a hair in my grits. Real flop girl shit. Meanwhile, Lisa is giving Meredith a critique on her non-reactiveness, so Andy breaks it up by asking Meredith a question. Andy saw them over there whispering and was like, let's break that up. Andy calls out Lisa and Meredith for whispering, and Heather says, seems like a lot of tag team going on. Lisa says, we don't need to tag team. And Lisa says, it's like Heather recruited a whole team. She definitely has a stable, and this is a handicap match, and it's 5 versus 2. Meredith says she can't say anything or have friends. And Lisa tells Meredith, don't use your voice. And Heather says, don't worry, she won't. Ooh. Heather ate. Y'all got to own it. Y'all got to own it. Heather ate it with that one. She ain't hear it. It wasn't to her face. She said it though. It was sickening. She should have said it to her face though. So I can't give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 7. It was sickening. It was sickening. I agree. I agree, Sean. Money can get stuff overlooked. I agree. And that's why I said I'm not going any further. Uh-oh. If there is a gag order, a person may talk about their experience or facts, but not share sealed filings. All right. Well, listen. Y'all saying she's a liar, liar, hoe on fire. So there's that. Heather says, Lisa, why do you have 6 attorneys in cybersecurity and go the distance? And she then says that she doesn't understand Lisa Barlow's business and how she is a millionaire and how she makes money. And I am just so revolted and mortified that she will call into question someone's business dealings on camera, knowing the implications that that will have. It was a choice and it was nasty. Lisa is offended and Heather says, you don't freak out. Don't freak out on me. I just don't know. I just don't understand. You know exactly what you were doing and you deserved to get freaked out on. You knew exactly what you were doing. Lisa is trying to explain and Heather keeps talking. Lisa says Heather has been at multiple events of hers with multiple celebrities and you don't know what she does. Um, and that's disgusting. Angie says, I don't understand her business either. Meredith says it was definitely an attack. And Lisa asks, what do you do, Bronwyn? Todd says you just spend his money because Bronwyn was chiming in on it and Bronwyn is on the hush. I asked in our last review that we did where we caught up on the last 3 episodes of Salt Lake City when Bronwyn got so offended that Heather said that Brittany may be more accomplished than just about everyone at the table. And Bronwyn got so upset. I said, well, I mean, listen, I'm not one to pry, but what does Bronwyn do? Other than throw everyone under the bus for her story. And Brahma didn't answer the question there at the reunion either when Lisa asked it. And nobody was able to answer me what Bronwyn did when I was doing a review. So nobody knows. And it's giving you do your husband barely, if at all, and you do the show. Only thing that may be allegedly getting fucked in that house is the wallet. Okay. Heather calling Lisa's business dealings into question is laughable when at the very first season reunion, they asked her, what did Jen do? She couldn't explain it. And she has admitted since then that she felt like something was off, but she didn't question it because Jen was her friend and she didn't need to know what she did for a living. So then why are you doing this to Lisa, who you call your friend? You say that Lisa is a friend of yours, and she's not a good friend to you, but she's an important friend for you. And she isn't friend with anyone who pretends to be a perfect Patty, and that's what Lisa Barlow does. Lisa says, I'm over the false accusations. And Angie K pulls out a scroll that Meredith bought her. And on the scroll, she says a person trolling her ironically has the same number as Lisa Barlow. Lisa says, "Do you want to show the pictures on your phone?" And we're to be continued for next week. Part one, I give it like a 6.5, maybe, yeah, a 6.5. Lisa was definitely in charge of the girls, and I still enjoyed it for what it was worth. Lisa ate and got eaten, but she ate more than she got ate up. So Lisa is in charge. Heather had a few little quips. However, Lisa Barlow is in charge of the girls. Meredith, start using your voice. Mary, stop clicking down. Whitney, go away. Heather, please leave us alone. Angie, you're mean. Bronwyn, Brittany. And that's how I would rate the reunion. I want to thank you guys so much. Almost 100 of you guys watching here. I appreciate that. Wow. Almost 100 of you guys watching here on our morning, review. So I do appreciate that. I thank you guys the long way for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells. Um, I've ran through everything. I just got to be honest with you. I do feel as if Monica should have been included in that 100 anniversary. Um, that was tacky. That was tacky. And if you just acknowledge the person, um, then you won't have to deal with the backlash. And the thing is, they consistently omit people who have helped change the trajectory and help push the show forward. And she was one of those, like her or hate her. I'm not like a Monica fan, but I think she should have been there. I do understand the weirdness and the hesitation and the reticence about her being there, but they are friends with Jen Shaw, and they're not going to bring Jen Shaw back on the show. So bring Monica back. The show needs a shot in the arm. This season was dull, and Monica will keep those girls on their tippy toes. With that being said, my name is Chase. Thank you guys for tuning in to No Chaser TV. This is where you want to be. And we'll see you guys tonight for Married to Medicine. Thanks you, everyone in the lounge. We do appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, and we're finna peace out to the new